All right, hey guys, thanks for checking the video out today. Here's the first thing I want to start with. This map right here is something that I hand drew this morning, literally, and it's not to be taken like, oh, that's exactly what it's going to be. I've had someone say, these YouTube weathermen, I don't know exactly what that means. I had thermodynamic meteorology, synoptic meteorology, physical meteorology. Been a while. I ended my career on TV as a chief meteorologist. I guess some people you just can't make happy, but thank you for coming back today to check the video out. If you're new here, my name is Travis Roberts. I appreciate you watching. If you like this kind of content, I hope you'll subscribe. Let's talk about, though, what's going on. And I love your comments down below. Some of them, I got to tell you, they crack me up. You call me out. You're watching me. I get it. And I really messed up. I got to call this out. I've been calling Buffalo Watertown. I know where Buffalo is, and I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is here. But anyway, let's move on. I will make mistakes. You will find that about me, and I'll own them when I do it. It happens. I'm human. Let's talk about what's going on across the East Coast today first, and then we'll get into the severe weather across the central United States because that's where it's really going to pick up. We've got these showers moving through the northeast. Some of these could pulse up into the afternoon and evening hours that could get a little strong. And then these here across West Tennessee, Arkansas, also into Mississippi, especially this afternoon, could get strong. And then new development starts to take place once we move into the evening hours here across Kentucky, southern Indiana, northern parts of Tennessee, I think. And these may start to bow out some too. And then you've got some isolated storms here through the Mid-Atlantic and the Appalachians that could get a little strong this afternoon. Any of these storms, I think, have the potential to drop some very heavy rain. Dew points on the way up, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so these storms will have a lot of fuel, so to speak, to drop that heavy rain. Heading into the afternoon, more storms firing here across southern Oklahoma. There's the storms we were looking at across Kentucky and Tennessee moving to the east. Also into Arkansas, these storms start to pick up as well. We've looked at those, but these storms across Oklahoma, also across the northern plains from South Dakota, North Dakota, even into Nebraska, could get strong, and there could be some tornadoes with some of these. Again, not everyone will see the storms, but this line here is looking very impressive through the overnight hours that may end up holding together as this squall line marches to the south and east, impacting parts of Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, maybe even parts of Kansas, and then that moves off to the east as we move into early tomorrow morning. Now, the HRRR really holding this thing strong as it moves into East Minnesota, eventually eastern Iowa, and now into Wisconsin, and this looks like one heck of a mesoscale convective complex or cluster of thunderstorms that's just holding together as it heads towards the Great Lakes. And then look at Friday. These storms really start to fire up now close to Chicago with big storms pushing off to the east and more storms here into Friday afternoon. So let's hit the highlight areas from the Storm Prediction Center. New data coming in from them last night. We start across North Dakota, and the biggest threat here across parts of Nebraska and Kansas, and that extends all the way south to Texas. And then this right here will be associated with what's left of our washed out front. You've seen the storms firing up. I think really anywhere in these areas, we could see storms, and some of them could be severe with hail, damaging winds, and a few isolated tornadoes can't be completely ruled out, although the risk is lower in the east compared to what we're looking at here across the Central Plains states. And look, a significant risk of hail. The tornado outlook highest too across the Central Plains, as I said, the biggest bullseye here from Nebraska south into west Oklahoma and a very small area of Texas. But do not let your guard down in these areas where we're in the green. Still a decent risk of seeing a few tornadoes. But heading into tomorrow, all that severe weather shifts off to the east. We've got more severe storms too, I think, even into the south, maybe not further south than Macon or Birmingham, but north of that into Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, Western Virginia, I should say, and then to the Carolinas, the western parts specifically of North Carolina, and maybe even down to the coast of South Carolina. Some of these could pulse up and get a little strong, and a few tornadoes possible. That wind shear will be in the atmosphere tomorrow, so we could see that here across parts of the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, down all the way into parts of East Texas again, and the highest risk for hail in these areas. So back here across Texas, we've been getting hammered, and it looks like more on the way. Saturday, another active day. Our front kind of laying like this now, so a bit of a break here into, say, the Great Lakes into the northeast. But we're just getting hammered day after day as these complexes of energy just move out of the Rockies into the Plain States. So again, Kansas, Oklahoma, down into Texas. And as they move east, they do weaken some, but the threat will be there. Now, it's still a little too early to track exact specifics for Saturday. And Sunday's risk has expanded some into parts of Ohio. And I mentioned it yesterday. People are asking, what about areas just to the east of this? Well, I think you have to watch it too. But the bullseye area here from Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, also parts of Illinois here, And don't discount the significant risk here. That's a 15% chance of seeing severe weather somewhere in these areas. It's widened out a little bit. The donut is getting a little bit bigger to chew on as we look towards Saturday. Let's take a look at the culprit of what we're looking at. Here we are on Friday, moving through the day. This area of low pressure moving into Canada. We'll see those storms here, at least the strongest storms, move off to the east. So now they're moving into parts of Illinois, Missouri, also Arkansas. And then by the weekend, these storms here could get a little strong. Again, I don't think you want to discount really anywhere in this environment where there's so much moisture and quite a bit of energy, especially into the afternoon as we get that late May afternoon heating. But here comes the biggest threat. I think it will be on Sunday with this low as it moves toward the Great Lakes. Out ahead of it, there's your storms, and they could make it this far east as we head into Monday. So I don't think we're completely done with the threat just because they're stopping the highlight here. It may extend a little bit further to the east. On Sunday, here's your negatively tilted trough in the mid levels and the upper levels of the atmosphere that swings to the east. So on Monday, again, I still think you need to watch the front right side of this because there will be some wind shear that could cause some really strong storms further east than what they're highlighting at the Storm Prediction Center. And of course, that may all change. And then this trough moves off to the east, and then we start to cool down a little bit. It's been relatively mild in the east and the Great Lakes. Maybe some cool air to follow this. This would be next Thursday. Lows potentially dropping close to 40, especially around the Great Lakes as that crisp, cool Canadian air moves south. So that's what we're looking at as we head into the weekend, also into next week. Again, if you like this content, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. I'll catch you next time.